First, I want to thank everyone for being here today. This is an exciting moment for me, for my family, for Broncos country. First, I want to say thank you for everyone that got me here. I want to say thank you to the Walton Penner ownership. Obviously, they've done so much for this organization so far. Coach Payton, George Payton, can say thank you over and over to them for just putting me in this position, giving me this opportunity. I'm so excited to be a Denver Bronco. Excited for day one. Can't wait to get around my teammates. Already been in contact with my former teammate Alex Forsyth, Pat Surtain, who I got a chance to play against in college, Garrett Bowles, who's going to be on the offensive line. I mean, those guys reached out to me, right when it happened. So just thankful for them. Can't wait to meet the others, and now I'm happy to open up for questions.
Guys, we have wireless mics. Please state your name and affiliation. If Bo gets to know everyone, we'll start with Mike Kliss to the left.
Yeah, Mike Kliss, 9 News. Bo, could you take us through the last, 18 hours or so, the whirlwind, when you arrived and all that kind of stuff?
Yes, sir. So about yesterday afternoon, yesterday evening, it started to become real to me. Had everybody at the house, had a great group show up, a lot of friends and family, an exciting moment for me and the entire family. And then, as the draft started, it got intense, and we knew how the first part of the draft was going to go, and then as it went, you just never know how things are going to shape up. But, right there around pick 12, I get a phone call, and just extremely excited and honored for it to be the Denver Broncos. And truly can tell you this, if I could pick where I wanted to go, I was going to pick Denver because of the relationships that we had built throughout the process. I just felt like it was a great fit for me, and I'm just excited to get that phone call. And then after that, that's when everything really started happening fast. It takes a long time for the draft to get here, but once it does, it happens quickly. And now, I'm already in Denver, and speaking with you guys, so I'm excited. Already love the city. It's a pretty day outside, and just excited to be here.
So Parker Gabriel from the Denver Post. I'm curious. A lot of kids in college transfer now. Obviously, there was a lot made when you went to Oregon. And I'm curious just what sort of your years at Auburn taught you and what you took away from that, when you left there and went up to Oregon.
Yeah, I had 3 great years at Auburn. It was a dream come true. It was what I wanted to do my entire life. I was able to do it. We had a lot of exceptional games, great days. I think, at the end of the day, when I graduated, I just wanted a chance to play for a championship and compete. And that's what Oregon presented me with. And the transition was actually very smooth. Coach Lanning and Coach Dillingham gave me the opportunity, and the players welcomed me with open arms. And I was able to, again, just have 2 great years with great teammates, great coaches. We learned a lot. We grew a lot. And, that got us to where we are today.
Troy Rank, Denver Post. Bo, when you went to Oregon, it sounded like with Coach Dillingham, he gave you more responsibility, which created ownership from you. Can you speak to how that transition from going maybe having to try to play a little bit of hero ball to what became the most accurate season in FBS history, and the touchdown to pick ratio is just off the charts. Can you talk about that transition of you as a player?
Yeah, he had a vision when I was in the portal. Coach Dillingham had a vision of, this is what we want to do. We want to give you the keys and let you go drive the car. And we had so many conversations leading up to the season, going in, what we wanted. And I knew what his goal was. I knew what he wanted to do as a play caller. And so it was easy for me just to go out there and essentially do it. And like I said, he gave me freedoms, he gave me flexibility, he let me make mistakes, he let me have success, and he just kind of let me find my way with great guidance. And he went off and got the ASU head coaching job, which I knew from a long time that's what he wanted to do ultimately, and he got it at such a young age. I was so excited for him moving up in his career, and then we just carried over what we started last year, and we had another great season.
Bo, Zach Stevens with DNVR. Welcome to Denver. First, I got a 2-part question. The first one is, what are your goals for your rookie season? And then the second one is, how do you expect the interaction to be with your new quarterbacks, Jarrett, Zach, and Ben?
Yeah, well, first, my goal for this year is to do whatever I can, quite simply, to help this franchise and organization succeed at a high level and win games. I think that's all, the players, that's our job. We show up each and every day to do whatever we can to win games. And we have a great opportunity here. It's an unreal organization. Fans are incredible. They put so much into efforts to, watch us succeed. And everyone that is a part of the organization, that's what our goal is. So, for me, I just got to start from somewhere and just grow each and every day to be the best player that I can possibly be for my teammates and for my coaches. And I'm so excited to be a part of this quarterback room. With Ben, Zach, and Jarrett, they're, obviously they've had great careers thus far. They're all, different, but I feel like we're all kind of made up the same, just ultimate competitors, and just excited to, grow as players. And I know that, I've had a chance to, I followed Jarrett at Auburn and didn't get a chance to be his teammate, but looked up to him, on my way through, and obviously watched a lot of Zach and, as he went through the process, and really excited to get to know Ben. But can't wait to be around those guys. I know we're going to have a really good group, a group that's going to push each other and make each other better, and support one another too.
Bo, welcome to Denver. Romy Bean, CBS, Colorado. You come to Denver and you are, if you start in September, the 14th quarterback since Peyton Manning. This fan base is dying for the solution, a lot of high expectations. I'm wondering, you being 24, being a little bit older, do you think coming in with that experience and maturity will help you balance the rigors of the job and the expectations of this fan base?
Well, I think it'll definitely help. For sure won't hurt. I think experience is one of the best teachers, really in anything. The more you do something, the better you should get at it. But whatever happens, I know that I'm around a great support staff. I'm around great coaches who have been doing this at a high level for a very long time, and just one that I'm going to be able to take it all in, learn as much as I possibly can, grow as much as I possibly can, just to where I can be the best version of myself, so I can give that to my teammates. I can give that to this organization, and really exciting time. Been looking forward to being on an NFL roster, being on a team, being picked, everything that goes with that, from the transition from college to the NFL. So I can't wait. I'm so excited to be here.
Bo, Eric Dalala, DenverBroncos.com. Welcome to Denver. Curious if you watched, or there were a lot of comps to Drew Brees during this process. Did you watch Shawn and Drew kind of back in the day growing up, and then does it feel a little surreal now to be with Shawn after watching those guys?
Yeah, it's very surreal. I grew up watching Drew Brees. I grew up watching Coach Payton coach. I watched their Super Bowl. I knew, the efficient offenses that they had, and, how well they worked together. And honestly, in college you learn, you're with so many different coaches, that relationship is so important. And so it's one that every quarterback and play caller and head coach need to have together. And, I'm excited to be around him. I'm excited to learn from him. Everything he tells me is something that I'm probably not going to know. So I'm going to do the best to take it all in and apply it to the field. And whenever you're, comped to a guy like Drew Brees, it's an honor, just because of the success he had, the career that he had. So, all it is just talk. I have to, go out there and, continue to do things just for the respect of that comparison. But I think that's what excites me the most. I'm excited to just play football. I'm excited to go out there and compete. I saw the sign out there on the practice field that said "Compete Street." I think that's the best thing that you can have going out to a practice field, because that's all you're doing, is you're just competing to be the best for yourself. Because when you put your team together and you got a team game, you got to rely on each and every individual. So watching those guys compete at practice, and then them knowing that I'm going to compete as well, that's what I'm really excited to do.
Hey, Bo, Brandon Cristal from KOA and Broncos Radio. What types of relationships do you have with veteran veterans in the league or retired guys? I know you went to Manning Passing Academy. Who are some of the guys that are in your phone that you reach out to or that reach out to you after games and through this process?
Yeah, so one that obviously comes to mind, a great connection, is, I got a text from Peyton Manning last night from our past at the Manning Passing Academy, and he's always been so willing to reach out to me. He's very good at, being available to those young guys. He's like that at the camp. And he's obviously like that with Broncos players, but excited to seriously be around him and spend some time with him. This past offseason, I was fortunate to be around Phillip Rivers, and the knowledge that they possess is you can't get it from anywhere else. It's the resource that I'm excited to use, and then obviously with Coach Payton's background and Drew Brees, I'd love to get connected with him, and just because he's been through it, he knows what it's like, and maybe I can take something from all of those guys to where I can be the best version of myself.
Yeah, Bo, some of us remember watching your dad play. What kind of influence has he been on your life? And then I have a follow-up for you.
Yes, sir. Huge influence. He taught me so much about the game growing up, and then he was my coach from 8th grade until I graduated. So, we had some great days. We had some rough days. It was tough to be coached by your dad, but I wouldn't have had it any other way. And so I think majority of what I know now about the game and, the way I compete, what you see, the product on the field is from what I learned from him. And obviously growing up off the field, he teaches you so many life lessons, and I definitely wouldn't be here without him.
And then what do you know about Denver as a sports town? What's your perception of it?
Yeah, so really being, especially this past year, watching Jokic and the Nuggets tear it up on the court. I love watching basketball, always enjoyed it. I grew up playing it, and so now, I feel really excited to be able to go watch them play, hopefully soon. I know the Avalanche is really good, I hear. I'm not necessarily a huge hockey fan, but I'll go watch a game or match. I don't even technically know what they call it. But I'm excited, and, just embrace it all. I think that's what I was able to do, at Oregon. You go around and you watch other teams and, support the city and not just the organization and the teams, but, you're around for the rest of the city and just show up, because ultimately, on Sundays, they're going to show up for you. So that's what I'm excited about, and definitely excited to see, the other sports teams.
Bo, Ron McFadden from the Denver Post. So yesterday, Shawn Payton mentioned how the night before he met with you, he sent 3 different installations. Could you just talk about a little bit your study preparation in terms of consuming all that information? How many hours did you put in to prepare for that meeting?
Well, yeah, we talked about it. It was a challenge. He wanted to see as late as possible he could give it, so it was kind of a quick turnaround. But I feel like I played in many different systems and offenses, so all it is really piecing things together and memorization at that point. And then once you memorize it, you begin to learn it, and it kind of becomes second nature. So excited to get even more in depth with what I've already been able to learn. And I felt like when we had that meeting, they were great at teaching it. And even after we left, I had such a better understanding of what it was just before when I was studying it on my own. But all you can do is just hit it head on. You just start and you go and you just start from the top and you go through it and you learn it and learn it the best you can.
Bo, Andrew Mason, DenverSports.com. You've obviously taken a lot of steps along your path here. Who are some of the people in your football journey who helped you get to this point where you're sitting here as a first-round pick?
Yeah, so obviously we spoke about my dad. He taught me a lot at a young age. Coach Malzahn gave me an opportunity to play at Auburn, and then Coach Harsin, took over my junior year. I've had incredible offensive coordinators throughout my entire journey, starting with Coach Dillingham and then Coach Morris, Coach Bobo at Auburn, then Coach Dillingham again, and Coach Stein at Oregon, and then Coach Lanning, who's my head coach at Oregon. He's an incredible coach, gave me such a great opportunity, and allowed me to continue my journey at a different place, but still compete at a high level. And I learned so much from each and every one of those guys. And then with QB Country, who I've been able to train with over the past several years, with Demo and Ben Neal, and just that whole organization that he's got going on at QB Country. They do a great job of developing, the quarterback position, and also, just the leader and the man you got to be to play the position. But I've learned so much, from each individual. I've been able to take a piece from all of them and just put it together and make it my own version of myself. And I think that's the product that you get to see.
Bo, Shawn, Nick Cosmetter with The Athletic. Shawn said last night that he liked that you've dealt with adversity throughout your college career. What are the things that kind of anchor you, that you lean on, in some of those times? And when maybe in your career did you really kind of have to do that?
Yeah, that's a great question. Adversity is inevitable. I learned that as a young kid at Auburn, but really didn't start, I guess, putting it into true reality until Oregon, when you do go through things over and over and over. And, no matter what situation you have, it as good as you want, but you're going to eventually face something you didn't expect. You're going to go through adversity, and you're going to have highs and lows. And even though I'm going to compete and go out there and believe that I'm going to win every game, statistics show I'm probably not. So as I go, keep that in mind and do the best I can, to keep that mindset and not to lose confidence. And just for me, it's really easy. My faith's really important to me. I've always been, a faith-based person. I believe that God has a plan for me in my life. I truly believe that, He has set this, path in front of me, and He put me here in Denver for a reason. And that's why, honestly, through the process, wasn't nervous or anxious about it one bit. I knew that I was going to go to the right spot, and the right spot is here. So throughout my college journey, there was a lot of ups and downs. The transition from Auburn to Oregon was one of the toughest because it was such an unknown thing. It was kind of stepping out on a leap of faith, but it worked out for me, and it was just because you just have to trust and believe that His plans are higher than your ways, and so that's why I truly believe. I'm a perfect example of that. If you haven't seen any already, you can look at my story and know that He's got an individual plan for each one of our lives, and He sets it out in front of us, and all we have to do is follow. And once we get to where we are, just do the best we can with what we have.
Hi, Bo. Chris Thomas in Denver Gazette. You threw a lot of short passes at Auburn. Did you feel during the pre-draft process you needed to show more off your ability to throw the deep ball? And what do you think about people who might still question your ability to throw deep?
Well, quite frankly, I completed a lot of long ones too, and I don't mind. When people go back and watch the film, they can see everything they need to watch. But that's here and gone. I'm excited to be here now and do whatever I need to win the games, and that's if I'm out there playing, if I'm supporting another quarterback, whatever it is, do whatever the coach is asking me and do it at a high level. And I know if you do that, statistically speaking, watching other guys in the league, if you do that, you get to play and stick around for a long time. So I'm excited, and don't think I have to show anything else because I'm at the perfect spot now, and just can't wait to get to work with the team.
Final two, Bruce and then Cecil.
Bo, Shawn talked so much during the lead up to the draft about finding a guy that had a good processor. You talked about it a lot at the Combine. Can you define what a processor really is, at least in your point of view, and what makes you such a good match for Sean Payton, who was looking for someone with a good processor?
That's a great question. So it starts throughout the week with your preparation. It starts with what you can learn and what you already know and how you can put it together, how you can collaborate with coaches and other players to form a game plan that's going to best fit you and go out there and essentially execute it. You got to be as efficient as possible. So processing to me means taking something, from the sideline, being able to evaluate it and see all the pros and the cons of the play and understand that whatever happens, you got to react to it. So every play starts usually now in the league starts with a huddle, starts with a play call, then there's probably a shift or a motion or a movement. There's going to be a cadence. There's going to be, probably a, primary play and a secondary play. You got to figure out all this is just offense. So now you got to look at the defense and see what they're in. You got to see the front through the linebackers to the safeties. And then once you see that, you just process everything, and then hopefully your preparation has led you up to the point to where you can find the solution and find the answer. But great question. I don't think I've ever been asked, to be able to analyze what it means to have, good processing skills. And then it goes back to experience. I've been able to see this look over and over and over to where I get it. I naturally know, where to react. And all that is doing, plays over and over and over. So at the beginning of this process, it's going to be, reading and reciting plays over and over and over so you can spit it out in a huddle. Because if nobody knows what to do, you're all going to be wrong once you get to the line of scrimmage. So communication, being elite, communicators, and eventually, you just get to process information. And it's not just about processing it, it's also about how fast you can do it. So again, I think it's to some people second nature. It can also be developed. But I think the processing from college to the league is going to be different. The game could be faster. Speed of the game will, be a faster tempo. And so, you'll have to take that with a grain of salt, because I think also the best decision makers, the best processors are the ones that do it quick and don't overcomplicate the game. And so when you see that, it's just really pretty to watch. And, it's just seeing what you need to see and reacting off of it.
Bo, Cecil Lammy, Denver Sports. When I talked to you at the Senior Bowl, you have a very business-like approach, which I really appreciate. Let's talk about the fun of being Sean Payton's guy. Like, being in the NFL is a blessing, right? God-given talent got you here. Sean Payton picked you. What does that mean to you?
Well, it's first and foremost, it's just a huge honor. He could have picked, anybody else in this draft, and he chose me. But with that, comes great responsibility and one that I can't take lightly and I won't take for granted. But it starts with the next best thing that I can do. I'm about to finish this press conference and go and finish out the tour, and then have a few weeks before the rookie mini camps, and then have a lot to learn before then. And so I'm glad there are 2 weeks of buffer time so that I can get a lot of that in. But just excited to be his guy. That's it's not lightly said. And so, but again, it goes back. I don't want to just be a draft pick. I want to be able to show my improvements and show that I can do what he picked me to do, and that's go out there and win games, or help win games. Do whatever I can to put his team in a better situation.
Thank you very much, Bo. At this time, we'll do a couple photo opportunities.